Never eat these 3 breads after 60 and 3 you should eat daily. Senior health tips. You probably grew up believing that all bread is more or less the same. Just a simple comfort food you can toss in the toaster or pair with soup. But if you're over 60, that assumption could quietly be putting your health at risk. New studies show that certain types of bread especially, some of the most common ones, can drastically increase inflammation. Spike blood sugar contributes to memory decline and even interfere with key medications. And the worst part, these loaves often look healthy on the surface, hiding behind words like multigrain or whole wheat. In this video, we're exposing the 3 most dangerous breads seniors should avoid at all costs, as well as 3 surprising breads that can actually improve your digestion, balance energy, and support brain health if you eat them daily. So before you make your next sandwich or slice up toast for breakfast, you need to hear this. Your heart, your brain, and your gut will thank you. Let's begin with the hidden danger baked into one of the most common types of bread on American shelves. White sandwich bread, especially enriched and preserved brands. White bread might look innocent on your kitchen counter. But for seniors over 60, it's one of the most damaging staples, hiding in plain sight. Especially those classic sandwich breads that boast soft texture, long shelf life, and enriched flour. The problem starts with how white bread is made. Refined flour is stripped of nearly all its fiber, vitamins, and minerals, then enriched with synthetic nutrients that are poorly absorbed in older adults. What you're left with is a fast-burning starch that spikes blood sugar within minutes of eating. According to a 2021 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults who consume refined bread products daily are 42% more likely to develop insulin resistance compared to those who limit intake. But it gets worse. White bread contains high glycemic ingredients that trigger chronic inflammation, which has been directly linked to joint pain, poor circulation, and memory issues in aging populations. Another hidden danger is in the preservatives and additives that keep white bread soft and fresh for weeks. Common chemicals like calcium propionate and azodicarbonamide have been associated with gut irritation and headaches in sensitive individuals, especially those on medications for blood pressure or digestion. Many seniors report symptoms like bloating, fatigue, or brain fog after eating white bread, but never suspect their toast is the culprit. In one case, a 72-year-old woman named Linda from Arizona saw her joint swelling reduce significantly within a month of cutting out her daily white toast and switching to a high-fiber alternative. Her doctor had previously suspected arthritis, but her inflammation turned out to be dietary. Better tip: if you're still eating white sandwich bread out of habit, it's time to switch. Instead of choosing any bread labeled enriched or bleached, look for ones made from 100% whole grains with at least 3 grams of fiber per slice and no added sugars or preservatives. Even better, try sourdough or sprouted grain breads, which we'll cover later both. Offer enzymes and nutrients that are easier on older digestive systems and more supportive of healthy blood sugar levels. Multigrain bread, that's not 100% whole grain. It sounds healthy, right? Multigrain bread has become one of the most deceptive labels in the bread aisle, especially targeting seniors who are trying to make smarter choices. But here's the truth: most multigrain breads are nothing more than white bread with a sprinkle of seeds or coloring, and the damage they cause can be even more insidious. According to a 2022 consumer report by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, over 65% of products labeled as multigrain were found to contain 0 whole grains and were instead made of refined flours and high fructose sweeteners. These breads may raise your blood sugar just as quickly as white bread, but the illusion of health causes many seniors to overconsume them, believing they're making a better choice. Worse, many of these loaves are packed with emulsifiers, gums, and dough conditioners like datim or mono and diglycerides, ingredients that disrupt gut bacteria and increase leaky gut risk in aging intestines. If you've ever noticed increased bloating, gas, or irregularity after switching to bread, you're not alone. A 67-year-old man named Carl from Michigan thought he was being smart by eating 2 slices of multigrain toast every morning with his eggs. But after his routine blood work showed elevated blood sugar and his doctor noticed signs of prediabetes, he eliminated the bread and saw improvement in just 8 weeks. It turns out, his bread was colored with molasses and made with mostly refined flour, offering little nutritional value and worsening his metabolic profile. Better tip: don't trust the front label. Turn the package around. Look for 100% whole grain as the first ingredient, and avoid any product with words like enriched, unbleached wheat flour, or added sugars above 2 grams per slice. Real whole grain breads should be dense, slightly chewy, and contain visible seeds or grains, not just flavoring. If it looks too soft or sweet, it's likely doing more harm than good. Gluten-free processed breads made with rice flour, potato starch, and gums. Many seniors are turning to gluten-free bread, thinking it's the healthier choice, especially if they experience bloating, fatigue, or joint pain. But unless you have celiac disease or a diagnosed sensitivity, most commercially produced gluten-free breads can actually be worse for your health than regular bread. The reason? These breads are often made from ultra-refined starches like rice flour, tapioca, starch, or potato starch, all of which spike blood sugar even faster than white flour. According to a 2020 study in Nutrients, gluten-free breads made from high glycemic starches caused larger glucose spikes in adults over 60 than traditional whole wheat bread. This contributes to energy crashes, worsens insulin resistance, and increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, a growing concern in aging populations. But it's not just the blood sugar issue. These gluten-free loaves are also loaded with gums and binders, like xanthan gum and gar gum, to mimic the texture of wheat-based bread. While safe in small amounts, frequent consumption of these additives can cause bloating, constipation, and even interfere with mineral absorption, especially calcium and magnesium, which are essential for bone health in seniors. A 68-year-old woman named Joan from Florida switched to gluten-free bread after reading online that gluten was toxic. But within 6 months, she reported more fatigue, brittle nails, and worsening joint stiffness. Her doctor traced it back to nutrient deficiencies and excessive starches from her new gluten-free diet. Better tip: don't assume gluten-free means healthy. If you don't medically need to avoid gluten, stick to traditional whole grain or sprouted breads with minimal processing. And if you are avoiding gluten, look for breads made from almond, flour, buckwheat, or millet, which have lower glycemic impact and offer real fiber, protein, and nutrients that support senior health. Sprouted grain bread like Ezekiel 4-9 or homemade sprouted loaves. If you could design the perfect bread for seniors over 60, it would look almost exactly like sprouted grain bread. Unlike standard whole wheat bread, which is made from ground wheat flour, sprouted grain bread is made by allowing the whole grain such as wheat, barley, lentils, and millet to germinate before baking. This process unlocks powerful health benefits that are especially important for aging bodies. First, sprouting reduces antioxidants like phytic acid, which otherwise block the absorption of key minerals such as iron, calcium, and zinc. For seniors, this means better bone support, stronger immune function, and more energy per slice. But the benefits don't stop there. Sprouted grain bread is naturally higher in protein and fiber than most commercial loaves, helping stabilize blood sugar and support muscle maintenance critical. After 60, a 2021 clinical trial published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that older adults who consumed sprouted grain bread daily experienced improved digestion, lower fasting glucose, and even reported better memory retention over a 12-week period. One 74-year-old man named Harold had struggled with constipation and energy dips for years before a nutritionist suggested he switch to sprouted bread. Within a month, he noted smoother digestion, more mental clarity, and no post-breakfast crashes. Better tip: when buying sprouted bread, look for brands that list whole sprouted grains as the first ingredient and avoid added sugars or sweeteners. Ezekiel 4-9 is a great option, but there are now local bakeries and health food stores offering fresh sprouted loaves too. Toasting it lightly and pairing it with a healthy fat like avocado or almond. Butter can make it even more blood sugar friendly and satisfying for breakfast or snacks. Sourdough bread, naturally fermented with live cultures. For many seniors, sourdough bread isn't just a flavorful treat, it's one of the most gut-friendly, brain-supportive, and blood sugar stabilizing breads you can eat daily. But the benefits of real sourdough go far beyond taste. The key is in the fermentation process. Authentic sourdough bread is made by fermenting flour and water with natural yeasts and lactic acid bacteria, creating a starter that transforms the dough over time. This natural fermentation does something remarkable. It pre-digests much of the gluten and starch, making the bread easier to tolerate for those with sensitive digestion. Sluggish metabolism or mild gluten sensitivity, all common in adults. Over 60, during fermentation, enzymes break down complex carbohydrates, reducing the bread's glycemic index. According to a 2020 study published in Frontiers in Nutrition, older adults who ate naturally fermented sourdough instead of commercial yeast-raised bread had 25 to 30% lower post-meal glucose spikes, which led to fewer energy crashes, improved insulin sensitivity, and better mood regulation. But perhaps even more impressive is sourdough's effect on the microbiome. The beneficial lactic acid bacteria found in the starter, such as Lactobacillus reuteri and Lactobacillus plantarum, help support gut flora diversity, which has been directly linked to stronger immunity, reduced inflammation, and even lower dementia risk in the elderly. One powerful story comes from a 66-year-old woman named Elaine from Oregon. She had long struggled with unpredictable digestion, especially after breakfast. Her doctor initially prescribed anticides, thinking it was acid reflux, but a holistic dietitian suggested switching her commercial wheat toast for a local bakery's naturally fermented sourdough. Within 2 weeks, Elaine reported smoother digestion, no more bloating, and to her surprise, clearer thinking in the late morning. Her sleep even improved, likely due to reduced systemic inflammation and blood sugar fluctuations. Sourdough didn't just help her gut, it supported her entire day. However, not all sourdough is created equal. Many store-bought brands labeled sourdough are made with commercial yeast and vinegar for flavor, skipping the fermentation entirely. These fakes lack the prebiotic effects, enzyme action, and real bacterial cultures that make authentic sourdough so beneficial for seniors. Real sourdough takes time, often fermenting for 12 to 48 hours, and has a tangy aroma, chewy texture, and naturally irregular holes inside the crumb. If your sourdough tastes like white bread and lists yeast or sugar in the first few ingredients, it's likely a shortcut product with few health benefits. Better tip: look for authentic sourdough from local artisan bakeries, health food stores, or even farmers markets. The ingredient list should be short: flour, water, salt, and possibly starter culture. No yeast, no sugar. You can also consider learning to bake your own, which many seniors find relaxing and rewarding. If you're diabetic, pair sourdough with fiber-rich toppings like hummus, avocado, or lightly cooked vegetables to further slow down glucose absorption and keep your energy steady all morning long. Rye bread, traditional dense, 100% whole grain rye, not rye-flavored wheat bread. Rye bread is often overlooked in the American diet, yet for seniors over 60, it can be one of the most powerful daily health boosters when chosen correctly. Real rye bread, dense, dark, and made from 100% whole grain rye flour, offers a unique combination of soluble fiber, slow-digesting carbohydrates, and natural plant compounds that specifically support the aging body. Unlike wheat, rye contains a fiber called arabinoxylin, which acts as a prebiotic, feeding your good gut bacteria and enhancing digestion, immune response, and even brain chemistry. According to a 2022 paper in the European Journal of Nutrition, daily consumption of whole grain rye improved gut microbiota diversity and lowered inflammatory markers in adults over 60 more effectively than wheat-based breads. But perhaps the most impressive benefit of rye bread is how it modulates blood sugar. Rye's complex carbohydrate structure breaks down slowly, leading to sustained energy without the sharp post-meal glucose spikes that come from white, wheat, or gluten-free breads. This is crucial for seniors trying to manage type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or fatigue. A Finnish study published in Diabetes Care found that participants aged 6075 who ate rye bread daily had significantly improved insulin sensitivity and lower fasting glucose compared to those eating refined wheat bread. This isn't just about numbers, it's about how your body feels hour by hour. Seniors report fewer naps, better concentration, and a noticeable reduction in brain fog. When rye becomes a regular part of their morning, The dense structure of rye also means it is more filling per slice, naturally reducing the risk of overeating, something many older adults struggle with when appetite cues become inconsistent. Additionally, rye contains natural lignans, which are phytonutrients known to support hormone balance and reduce the risk of certain cancers, particularly in postmenopausal women. In one case, a 71-year-old widow named Carol from Minnesota wrote to her local paper sharing how switching to dense rye bread helped her manage her blood pressure without medication. Her doctor noted that the high magnesium content, improved fiber intake, and slower starch digestion likely all contributed. She simply ate 2 small slices of rye toast every morning with unsweetened almond butter, and over 6 months, her energy, digestion, and cholesterol all showed measurable improvement. However, there's a trap many fall into. Most supermarket loaves labeled rye are just white or wheat bread dyed brown with caramel coloring or molasses, flavored with caraway seeds to simulate taste. These loaves often contain added sugars, refined flours, and preservatives, offering none of the true benefits of rye. In fact, a 2021 market analysis found that over 80% of rye breads sold in American grocery stores contained more wheat than rye and were no better than multigrain white bread when it came to blood sugar impact or nutritional density. Another bonus for rye: it has a naturally lower gluten content than wheat, making it easier to digest for seniors with mild sensitivities. Though it's not gluten-free, rye also contains resistant starch, which ferments in the colon to produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, known to protect against colon cancer and promote gut lining health. For seniors dealing with bloating, irregularity, or low appetite, this effect alone can make a huge difference in comfort and quality of life. Better tip: choose dense, dark rye bread made from 100% whole rye flour, often called pumpernickel or German-style rye. The ingredient list should be short: whole rye flour, water, salt, and starter culture. Avoid any product with wheat flour, enriched flour, or added sugars. You can find real rye breads at European bakeries, health food stores, or even order online from artisanal producers. To get the full benefit, pair rye with healthy fats and proteins like cottage cheese, wild-caught salmon, or eggs, creating a senior-friendly breakfast that supports digestion, brain health, and energy without overloading your system. As we've seen today, not all bread is created equal, especially after 60. While some loaves may seem harmless or even healthy on the surface, they could quietly be sabotaging your digestion, blood sugar, memory, or energy levels. White bread, faux multigrains, and overly processed gluten-free loaves may be convenient, but they often deliver empty calories, spike your glucose, and irritate your gut, which is the last thing your body needs in this stage of life. Other hand, choosing breads like sprouted grain, real sourdough, and dense rye can become a daily act of self-care, feeding your body with nutrients, fiber, and enzymes that support vitality from the inside out. These aren't fads. They're time-tested, traditionally prepared foods that work with your aging metabolism. Not against it. You don't have to give up bread to stay healthy. You just need to get smarter about it. The good news: once you make the switch, most seniors say they never go back because their body tells them the difference. Better tip: if you're just starting out, don't try to change everything overnight. Begin by replacing just 1 slice of your daily bread, maybe your toast, your sandwich, or your evening snack, with a higher quality option. See how your body responds. Keep a simple journal if needed. Over a few weeks, you may notice clearer thinking, better digestion, more stable energy, even lighter mood. Let food speak for itself. Now we want to hear from you. What type of bread do you eat most often, and have you noticed any difference in how you feel? Share your story in the comments. You might help someone else make a life-changing switch. And if this video helped you, consider subscribing for more practical health tips tailored for people over 60. Because here, your health isn't just a number, it's your legacy.